Welcome back to Maria's DIY Wall, the channel where I take back my house weekend by weekend. I am not some big YouTube channel with endless amount of money. I'm a hardworking single mom and I take everything step by step, earning my way and doing everything as I get to them. 10 years ago, I was very sick with stress. 5 years ago, I was still very sick with very low cortisol levels. And 2 years ago, I decided to just turn everything around. And here we are today. So let's get into today's video. So I've pulled this trim piece back out. The one from the corner in here. I didn't like the way it looked. Sometimes it's been a week. Sometimes I have to step away from something and then give my brain time to process and see that was not good enough. So I'm going to try and cut the caulk in here because it's so thick and it's not 90-degree angle any longer. So it's rounded in here so the trim can't get in here. I'm going to try and cut some of this out and see if I can get the trim piece up against the wall. It's actually easier than I thought it would be. Wow, that's a lot of extra. That was a lot, but it's out and I just tested. It fits so much better now, so I can't wait to install it. So I thought I would try and film during daylight. We don't have many of those hours this time of year. So I just cut a little So I just cut a little more of the caulk, and yeah, so I'm just gonna really put that in here, pin it back in, and then do my own caulking now. Yeah. It's so much better. It looks so good. But I also had to cut more than once because it's really hard to tell how thick it is. Even when looking at it, because it's kind of an optic illusion because you have the painted and the white caulk. So you can't really tell the difference. So, but I think I got it now. Okay, so you can see here I can't really get it in. Looking behind here, it's really hard to tell, but look how it sticks out right here. That's the part it's really hard to see. So I'm just gonna try and cut that. Okay, it's way better. Still not perfect, but I'm just gonna tape it up so I can caulk it now. And can we just talk about my filler here? So because I opened the gray filler that I didn't use for the tabletop, I'm pointing to the tabletop over here, and I ran out of filler. I'm just using it here, but it looks so dirty. I can't wait to just paint it because it makes it look very bad. This is what I'm talking about. Let me just focus here. Up here is way worse. Look at that. It looks so bad. So the reason why I thought I could put these trim pieces in without cutting the caulk out is that they're actually flat on the back, not pointy. So, but yeah, that didn't work. I just took the other trim piece off as well. I thought it looked good until I actually looked at it because I installed it when it was kind of dark. It did not look good. So, but now it's really good. On the bottom could be better, but the walls are wonky, so it it is what it is. This is the sawdust wallpaper, so it's very textured. So if I don't tape here, it's gonna be a nightmare to try and caulk in here. All right, it's a funny angle up here, but well, here we go. That was one. Let's do this one right away. Oh no! This is a caulk, and it just came loose. That was too early. Just getting started. Come on, please stay on. Just a little more. Come on. Oh my gosh, it's working. But not for much longer. Oh my gosh. This ended up being really messy because the tip kept breaking off, so yeah. Well, but I got the caulk in. So now it's just about wiping. I don't want the same kind of mess as they left me with. Something I really absolutely love about caulk is you can make a giant mess and then just wipe it and then it looks really good. I'm going to peel the tape right away so it doesn't get stuck, because I do have caulk all over it due to the circumstances. But it looks really good. That was a nice safe of me. Oh, okay, that could have looked better. Woohoo! Now do I touch up or do not touch so I don't mess something up? I need to evaluate the situation over here. It's not like it's pretty right now, but it will get there. I'm getting ready to paint the wall over here. I already wiped it down and I'm a little conflicted on whether or not I want to use my big roller because it's really nappy. Can contain a lot of paint. And I don't have that big wall pieces, so and I don't know if I can make it smooth enough with this, and if I fill it with paint, it's just gonna be filled with paint, and then I feel like it's being wasteful. So I might just test this out first and see how we do with that. Maybe that's just fine. The difference between painting a already painted wall and the glass fiber, big. This is so much more easy. Yeah, I don't think I should go more nappy than this. Curious to see if all my decor in the rest of the house will actually match this new color. Because it was put up to match a white wall, and then I painted some of it purple by accident. Thought it was gray. Oh yeah, I left the screw in. putting my grandma's clock back up, so I'm not pulling out the screw. So let's see what it all looks like when I put the furniture back in place, because I'm not redoing my entire living room. I'm not refurnishing and doing stuff like that. It was really just a matter of solving things over here that were problems. Compared to painting the box over here, the side of it with the glass fiber wall covering on. What a difference. I don't know, maybe this took me about 10 minutes. That took me an entire hour. So yeah, that's way nicer. I am very impatient when it comes to painting these trim pieces. I can't wait to see when they're all done what this door frame will look like. Difference between that and that is beautiful. My children are so unimpressed with what I'm doing. I'm very impressed. My daughter just walked by and I'm like, oh, this is turning out so good. And she's just like, cool. And walks on. Okay. I will just toot my own horn. It's so good. Very impressed with myself here. So good. Children are just very unimpressed with what houses look like. They don't think about stuff like that. That's really only an adult thing. So when you buy, I was about to say an older house. I don't know if a house from the 80s in Denmark would be considered old. It's older, I guess. But when you do buy an older house, you run into a lot of funny things, funny solutions, and a lot of like the house settled and there were a lot of cracks in the walls and stuff like that. And ever since I got the house, there were things in my house that just bothered me. And even though this is a newer thing that bothered me, I'm just so glad that I'm doing something about it. But all those cracks in my walls, I love that I'm fixing those, because they have bothered me for the longest time. And they have made me feel like my house was just a crappy house, which in some ways it is, because I don't have any insulation under the floor, among others. But yeah, it feels really good to do stuff like this. So yeah, very pleased with myself. Even though Emmeline was very unimpressed. Well, I guess one of my points were that I've always wanted sharp lines, like the ones you have in a new build. And I'm kind of getting that here now. Because just look at that. Can it focus right here? Yes. I did get a little bit of paint on here, but you know, I can fix that. The point is that the trim makes it look really sharp. So something happened. So Friday night I looked at Valdemar and I was like, so should we just buy a plastic Christmas tree? And he was like, sure, why not? It wasn't Friday night, it was Friday afternoon. And so I went online. And it came yesterday. Today is Sunday. And it's November 8th, I think. And I am fluffing a Christmas tree. So let me just back up real quick. Because the thing is, we've been going to the same... Well, let me back up further. Because for years, I did not want a plastic Christmas tree. That's just not for me. And also touching it right now, I don't really like that. And you will be missing the smell of fur. So, what happened is, I saw that the place where we usually go to buy Christmas trees, we get the real ones from the woods, and we go there and pick them up, that he was selling his house. And so I kind of thought that he was probably closing down, and it turns out that he did. I don't know what happened. He sold his place, and yeah, I don't know what happened. And we had this tradition where we would go and pick a Christmas tree from the scrap pile. They would be wonky and weird. And one year we had, I don't know, 4 tops, I think. And in Denmark, you put stars on the top. So we would have 4 stars. And they were dead cheap. And then when he moved, I'm like, I have to find another place to buy my Christmas tree. And I really like that tradition, and I didn't think I would be able to keep that up. And I wouldn't be able to get it that cheap anyway. So now I bought a plastic Christmas tree. And I'm not supposed to... I never put up my Christmas tree in the beginning of November, mostly because it will drop all the needles, you know, and they will be naked by Christmas time. So, but now that it's plastic, I can just fluff it and leave it here. So yeah, I guess I have a Christmas tree in my living room now. And don't worry, this is not going to turn into a decorate my Christmas tree with me video, because I'm not a decorator, and I can't give you any tips on that. They will look funny and weird and crooked, and yeah. So don't worry. And they tricked me into buying a different plug that you could control with an app. And then it turns out that you can't control anything else than the twinkle. So you can make it twinkle. And that's basically it. I thought at least I would be able to time it so that it will turn off by itself, but no. So the only thing I can do is lay in my bed if I forget to turn it on, or if I want to turn it, I forget to turn it off, but if I want to turn it on, I can turn it on as well. So yeah, that's it. That was not money well spent. And if you've ever bought a real Christmas tree, you know that branches don't look like this. They don't fluff, they lay down flat. But yeah, if they lay down flat, you'll be able to see all the ugliness in here. So I informed Emmeline about my decision, and she was like, I don't know what to think about that. And I kind of agree with her. And in 20 years' time, this Christmas tree will be the same price as if I had bought the other ones. Oh, and let me just add that the reason why we picked a Christmas tree from the scrap pile was that I hate being wasteful. And so, and I thought it was such a cute story to make with my children, that we would still fulfill the Christmas dream or Christmas destiny for that Christmas tree, even though it was ugly and didn't fit the standards. So yeah, we would do that. And we would actually feel really good about ourselves. But yeah, I guess not any longer. So I announced that I was done with this corner. I'm not. But it's not too bad. I filled in the holes with that gray filler. So I just need to sand and paint. And dust. And wipe. And also not done with the weird angles. I don't think I actually addressed why I put up 2 pieces of trim. So the problem is not here. The problem is in my kitchen where I will eventually end. And as you can see up here, I have a really big gap up here between the trim and I guess there's a groove, one of those grooves right over here. Let me just get it from this angle. Look how bad that looks. And I'm really just hoping by doing it like that I can cover that groove and not have that big gap over there. I did measure. The only thing is you can't really measure when the trim is still up, but I did measure and I think I'm gonna cover it, so fingers crossed. But that's why I'm putting up 2 pieces of trim. And I also didn't really zoom in on how it looks. It's rounded. Can you even tell? Yeah, it looks so much better than the old trim. The old trim is standard trim. In Denmark, it's called shadow trim. And it should be really good because it won't show all the imperfections on my wonky wall. I would rather see the imperfections than have that stupid trim. Did I get that one? Yeah. That was dusty. Can you tell? All right, let me just wipe. So I'm like, why do I have all these weird marks on my ceiling? Yeah, well, guess why? Sometimes I can't brag about my memory. This is the weirdest paint because it's kind of see-through when you put it on. And then you're like, wow, that does not look good, but then cures and then it's just white. But right now it's see-through. See how I just painted that and the spots up here? Let's just check back on those when that's dry and see what it looks like. I think it needs 2 coats anyway, but maybe just one. We'll just have to wait and see. So on a very positive note, I actually think that, can't see anything, that this is actually pretty perfect. So it's only been 6 years since they did this. And yes, I tried to fix it a year and a half ago and it just wasn't good enough. But it looks really good now. I'm just detailing right now. So I'm so glad about that. It's what I talked about last time or earlier. It's about the sharp lines. It makes a difference. It really does. All right, let's set the mood. Let's see, steady on. Okay, let's paint. Well, I didn't paint the windowsill or the surrounding areas. I'm not painting the windowsill, just the surrounding areas. I know it kind of looks like it's nighttime. It's not. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. November for you. I can't tell the difference. I'm having a really hard time telling the difference here. I need to be over here again though. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, yeah, I definitely need to put my hand upon. The paint from the window frame bled through the tape and onto the wall. So that's just what I'm detailing here. So when I had these windows installed many years ago, Velma was a baby, I was very sick with stress. So I just had them installed and never painted around them. So yeah, that's what I did a year and a half ago. So, and Valdemar is definitely not a baby any longer. So, yeah, well, that's actually why I started this channel. I just want to get that behind me and get stuff done and, you know, feel better. And man, do I feel better and blind right now because I'm not wearing any glasses, so I can't actually see my own reflection in the camera. So this is what I look like without glasses. Not that I can tell myself. You shouldn't paint above your own head. I'm turning gray. Well, technically it's brown. Maybe you should wear a glove, Valdemar. I dropped a screw and I vacuumed it by accident. And they found it. So
I found it.
Yeah, you found it. So we rescued it using a metal detector. I have reached the last area that I'm going to paint. And no Figo. I can't really see the difference when I'm painting. Please move. And I treated myself to a lollipop. This is Danish. Kind of candy, not the lollipop, but the taste, because it's salty. I love salty. Salty and sweet together. It's very salty licorice. I bought a lot of lollipops because it was my birthday and Halloween at once. So there was an offer and I just bought 3 times 85. And we still have a lot. And they're on the table right behind the camera. So they are very tempting. Open your eyes. Now you see me, now you don't. And we both know that I won't. But I try. If I wasn't specific enough about my birthday, I handed out lollipops in my classes. So I have, well, closer students, I have 82. So I needed a lot of lollipops, and then I just bought extra so they could pick and choose. Let me take it all away. Yet the words you used to say turned into lies. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I already did 2 coats over here all the way. I'm waiting for that to dry and then I can do the second coat over there. I thought I would reinstall the curtain, but since I've put the trim around up here, I can't install it the way it was before, installed on here, but I can screw it into the ceiling as well. Haven't tried that though, so I'm going to try and do that and just hope that it will be stable. use that curtain a whole lot, but so I don't think I'll pull the screws out of the wall. If I do, I'll just anchor them, but usually I don't anchor in these walls because they're so, it usually holds up because they are aerated concrete. Well, let me just try. Good thing is that it doesn't matter where you screw them in, because you can click onto the whole entire curtain. But is this the right one? I want to find out. Whoa. Wow, it feels secure. Okay, let's see. It's going to stick out further than it usually would, but that shouldn't be a problem. Perfect. One step closer. And I don't think these match the wall any longer. I think it's too bland. By the way, look at those. Those are so cute. They were 4 months old. Well, so I'm thinking about painting the frames because these are glued into the frame. Should I paint them gold, black, dark gray, brown? What do we think? Oh, and the ceiling color. Let's see if I can point to one here. It's better, but it needs a second coat. Right, I think that was it. I am going to put my living room back together and get ready for the next week, where I have way too much stuff going on at work. Good stuff, but also a lot of work. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'm just gonna paint that wall off camera anyway because you can't see it. So I'm kind of done going this way, kind of not done, I don't know. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day.